Hi everyone, I'm Ozzy,
I'm Ida.
And I'm Aqil.
and we're downtime.
Nice.
Welcome, welcome. Today we are here with our guest, our very special guest. Would you like to say your name again?
Hi. So my name is Aqil. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Aqil.
Yeah.
All right. So I just graduated from Taylor's University, and right now I'm an auditor. Yeah.
Oh,
An
nice.
auditor.
Yeah. No.
Akil was brought to downtime because Ozzy and he knew each other beforehand. So how did this collab actually happen? Like, how do you guys actually talk about it to make it
Hmm.
happen?
So for me, I decided to ask Akil because he's pretty good at talking. That's all. I was just like, he talks like an intellectual, you know? So like, why not
Nice.
have him here? And we were also part of this thing that I often talk about, like I bring up in every episode, like I'm part of Connect, and he's also part of Connect, and
Yeah.
to be with in a team with a person who's a change maker, then that's great.
I mean, for me, the reason why today happens because I just want to fill the void in my heart.
Oh
I
dang.
know.
No, I'm just
Same.
kidding. Just like
Same.
supporting a sis.
For supporting
Nice.
assist.
But yeah,
I'm feeling the void.
thanks for coming on downtime.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know too much about you. So, I always
Yeah.
ask this question to people. At the very basis, at this point of your life, what is something that you feel you advocate for? Yeah. If it's something that, we both also can relate to, or maybe not, and then we could be like, oh, yeah, this is important. Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's very hard to pinpoint on one because I'm an advocate to many things like female rights, human rights, employment,
Nice.
as
Yeah.
well as and some LGBTQ plus rights as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
And it seems like we have a lot to talk about today.
I
Do we have
know.
enough time?
Basically
Big
covers
brain.
everything.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Oh my
rounder
gosh.
podcast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we're talking to the UN right now. Akil is like the
Actually,
UN.
actually. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
mm,
Okay. So, one of like the questions that came to my mind is like, like with Connect and how we started, I'm bringing it back to Connect, sorry. It's something that's related to mental health. And it seems like you're also a huge advocate for mental health. Correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, right? So, like, where did this come from? Like, where did your passion for it come from?
All right. So before we started Connect, like me and Azi, right? So I fell into a deep depression before that, and it took me about 2 years to recover. Right. So the thing is that when you are in depression, you don't realize until you get help. Right. For me, I went through a lot, and it causes my family, the relationship with my family, my friends, because I tend to push everyone away. But then when realization comes in, then I feel better. And then when I look back, I don't want people to go through what I went through. So that's where like I'm advocate for these things. Like I don't want people to go through the pain that I went through
mm,
because yeah, throughout my whole experience, the whole duration, suicidal thoughts are it was there. So luckily, like I didn't go to that spectrum, to that thoughts. So
yeah.
I'm just worried about what if other people, like okay, for me, maybe I can make a cynical thinking. Like I mean, is it cynical? No, I mean no. I mean you can judge it. No, was it logical thoughts? So
Mhm.
okay, if you do it, then okay, these are the pros and cons. But other people, when they are in this state, they might not able to think clearly. So I really
Yeah.
want to help them.
That's really nice. Yeah. So I'm really glad that you never went to that spectrum of almost no return.
Yeah.
If I may ask, what helped you stop that process?
What helped? Uh, okay. Number one is that when I look back to okay, the things that when you are into depression and everything, it
Mm.
costs the relationship between me and my parents, right?
Mm.
So you can see in them, like for me, I can see in them they are disappointed in a way, you know.
Mm.
Just like okay, just to give a little bit of insights, my parents are very traditional, so they don't believe in this depression, you know. So when I say
Yeah.
I think I'm depressed, and they're like, stop saying all this nonsense and all these
Mm. Mm.
things, you know.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
when I look in their faces, I can see like, oh, I don't believe my son is saying this to me, you know.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that made me realize that you know I need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
But
feel like,
mm.
oh,
Oh no.
sorry to interrupt, Ida.
No, it's okay.
Oh,
Go.
okay. But yeah, I feel like a lot of older people are very traditional in that sense, or they don't at least have an understanding of it. They might believe in it, but they don't understand it enough, and they think that it can easily be solved. You know, like the
Yeah,
other day, I was having a conversation with my father, and I told him, I was just like, one of my friends, it seems that he is falling into depression because of unemployment and everything. We don't know what to do about it. And he was just like, oh, what can help? What can help? He was like, tell him it's gonna be okay. You know, there's this guy, he was like a pilot and then now he lost his job, but he's still picking himself up. And my dad was at a loss of words, even though he understood, you know, but he didn't know how to
Mm.
help. So
Yeah.
his way of helping was like, you know, like, look at other people. Maybe that will make you feel better. But actually, it's not necessarily how it is, right? So
Yeah.
other than educating other youth about this, it's also like educating our parents and the older people. Yeah.
Yeah.
true.
Um. Yeah. Sorry that I interrupt, Azzy.
Oh no, it's okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Um. Akil. I just wanted to know if that was the process you had to go through. That because your parents reacted a certain way that you felt you needed to do something. Do you feel that your healing process or your actions taken, uh, what do you call it? Not to say successfully, but effectively helped your healing? Was there
Uh,
anything that you felt you missed out or you didn't?
okay, so throughout my whole period until the day when I got into depression and
Mm-hmm.
when I got out, it was a long journey. Like I said, my family is very traditional. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of open minded, but they're not modern, you know. So when I
Mm-mm.
say I have depression, I'll say I might have depression. My mom, she said, "Don't you dare say that," you know. Then
Mm-mm.
afterward, and they're like, "It's not depression. It's just
Mm.
something is in you. You need to have it removed. It's just the gene, you know. It's very
Mm.
Islamic thing, you know." And
Yeah.
and they're like, "You need to pray. You need to pray more." So I'm just like, dude, like this is not it, you know. This, I mean, depression is a thing, you know. So
Yeah.
they send me to like a lot of this therapy, those Islamic therapy, those massages and everything.
I see.
At first, it got my depression even worse to a deeper state. It's because normally when you're in depression, you don't open up to anyone, right?
Yeah.
And normally you will go to your parents or family, the last one.
Yeah.
You trust them, but you don't want to tell your problem, but you have to tell your problems. So that's
Mm.
not your
Mhm.
last resort. So when I went to my mom and my dad, and they said those things, it really like shut me down. Where I think like you know what, nobody believes me, nobody
Mm.
would be there for me. So yeah, I took a year break from my studies. So we went for treatment, those massages, and at first I know it doesn't work. It's just a hoax, you know. It's like
Yeah.
you got depression, why you go for a massage? I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not logical. It's like if I have a back pain, yes, I go to a massage. You don't, right? So at that point in time, I'm just like, you know what? I'll just follow what they want. You know, as long as they feel better, at least at least when they have this thinking where, all right, I did something about my son.
Mm.
Like, I just fulfill what they want. And then afterwards, I told them, like, I really need to go to a psychiatrist, I think. Let's just go for one session. So it takes me about 2 months to persuade them. And they finally give in. Like, all right, because my mom said, you don't have depression, it's just something in you. So they just want to prove me wrong. So they,
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that, okay, finally, if let's say a doctor says you have no depression, then you have to just follow what we ask you to do, right? So I'm just like,
Mm.
okay, let's give a try, So
Mm.
when we went there, then the doctor, it was pretty serious, whereby the doctor even asked my parents to leave the room, the consultancy room, and just have a one-on-one session, right?
Mm.
After a while, he diagnosed he diagnosed me with multiple disorders, like have it was from double identity disorder to multiple identity disorder, major depression. I have schizophrenia, then and a lot of other stuff lah. But then when the doctor tell my parents, they don't believe. My parents still don't believe,
I
until
see.
the doctor have a one-on-one sitting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but luckily for my parents, they're not closed off.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're still
Mm. Mm.
open-minded. They're still willing to listen to what people have to say. So the doctor was like really trying to prove my mom and my dad. And it's like, this is depression. It exists. Here
Mm.
is a
Mm.
list and everything. These are the symptoms. And my mom's like, oh, it makes sense. Okay, let's just give it a try. Go to therapy. Go to get all these medications.
Yeah.
But a little bit about themselves, like just a tiny bit. They are still thinking that it's not depression. It's still genes.
Mm.
So from
Mm.
Yeah.
time, I still follow them to these massages. But as long as I have my medications, I'm just I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right. Do you feel that medication personally helped you?
It doesn't help for a long time.
Mm.
It just prolong the effect. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just like at least the medication helps you think, like because when you're in depression, you are overthinking. Like, my
Mm.
God,
Mm.
this thing happened, or what if this thing happened? What if this thing happened? So at least when you take the medication, everything mellow off, and
Yeah.
you get to a zone where at least you can start thinking about yourself. Like, what can I do better to get out from this? But at first, yeah, it was great that I could think, but then my dosage keeps increasing. It was
Mm.
from Xanax. I think Xanax,
Yeah.
very mellow one. Then I
Mm.
went to
Mm.
0.5 milligram. Then to a time where I had to eat 10 Xanaxes a day.
Holy
And yeah, because it doesn't work. Because at the same time, I have cancer and I
Right.
have thyroid.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
all my other sickness make my depression worse.
Yeah.
So it went to like Valium. So Valium is very, very strong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had Valium and everything. So, and I was thinking, it's like, this cannot go further. Cannot continue longer. It's like, I don't want to be dependent on medication. So
Mm.
from that, I started reading, like, what can I do. So I found out an article. They said that you should love yourself more. You should treat yourself right. So when I read that, let's say it sparked something. I think that's
Mm.
like, yeah, all this time I've been doing things for the sake of others' happiness. Like, what about my own happiness?
Mm.
We just want to
Yeah.
satisfy others, but not ourselves. So then I start to journaling, read books, then enjoy traveling. So yeah, right after I mean 2 years ago, I had a surgery, right? Remove my cancer cells. Then I told my parents. Literally the week after the surgery, I told my parents, I was like, I want to go to the UK just for fun alone.
Um.
And then after, they said, no, you can't. are you crazy? You just get up from operation and you want to go here and there.
That's what parents would say for sure.
Yeah, they were like,
Exactly.
that's like, what the hell? What are you thinking? You know,
Suddenly you want to travel, you're not even getting
suddenly
that.
you want to travel. You incurred me money. Now you want to incur me more money.
Oh my god. You're
So
like, please.
yeah, so I literally like persuade my psychiatrist to agree. And when they talk, my psychiatrist did say it's actually a good thing. You know, I need to get to a new environment for myself. So I went out for 3 weeks, and when I came back, I got worse lah actually. So
Wait, how?
Tell us more.
Yeah, what
What
happened?
so when I
happened?
went there, I want to meet my ex, my girl. Yeah,
At the
that
time, she
sound,
was your
Still.
girlfriend, is it?
yeah, kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh
So when I went
shit.
there, then afterward, things happen, and then we are no longer together. So I was stuck there for 3 weeks
Oh.
in the UK. Yeah. So
Uh,
came back. I mean, it's not worse. It's just that it was bad for me for quite some time. But when I reached Malaysia back, I started thinking, that that one bad news changed my whole life forever. It's that all right? Maybe this thing happened so that better things are coming for me,
mm,
and I should do something to love myself more and to improve myself to be a better version of myself. You know. So from there, I start
yeah.
loving myself more. I read, I sleep on time, then I even start exercising every 3 weeks.
Nice.
Then, yeah, and exercising it really helps me a lot. Once you see a progression, like mental health, is very subjective. You can tell your friends like I'm okay, but I'm not okay actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
when I go work out and everything, so I can see changes on my body, so I feel happy. So when I feel, then I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I'm happy. So
Hmm.
this really helps me,
Mm-hmm.
today.
Oh,
That's nice.
that
Yeah.
sounds so nice.
Yeah.
They really say that exercise really does help with, I forgot what hormones it creates in your body. It like helps form, but it does help with bringing you happiness.
Yeah, it does.
So that's great.
Yeah. Endorphins?
Endorphin.
Endorphins, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
I think.
But yeah, seeing that you've gone through so much and coming out this, I would say, resilient, like really doing things for yourself, that's holy crap, man. Like,
I know.
yeah, and I have another question in my head where how because like we have established people in depression might either not realize or they won't know how to get out, they won't know what to do about it. What is something you would tell someone in depression that has been where you were to make them realize that hey, not only can you get out, but this is not the end of the line for you? Because
All right.
it's, yeah, it seems that you hit that part where you saw what could be the end of the line, but you were like, nope, nope, I'm going this way, I know there's better things for me. Yeah.
All right. So for me, all right. I mean, actually, until today, I do call up to friends who have
Mm.
depression. We try to talk about it, and I like to help people when they're in depression. I mean, that sounds wrong, but I like to
No,
help
it doesn't.
people. No,
Oh
It sounds
yeah,
right, yeah.
that sounds right.
whatever. Okay, every time when I see someone who's depressed, right, I wouldn't go there and say, "Hey, things gonna get better. Tell me about it."
Mm.
Words is going to make them, feel worsen off. So normally what I do is that, example, if I see my friends who's like, when people are depressed, you can see it on their face. It's very
Yeah.
obvious, right? I just go
Yeah.
there. I just come to my friends like, hey, you know what? Let's get ice cream.
Oh.
So when we get ice cream,
Actions.
yeah, something because you when you're mad, you don't eat ice cream,
Yeah. So
right?
true, so
Yeah,
true,
when you're
yeah.
mad, you drink. I mean, that's what people always do. No, but Imagine you're pissed off. You won't eat ice cream, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So we go out to eat ice cream, and then I wouldn't ask him or her like what happened. No, I'll
Mm.
just ask them to take a step back, escape from the world for a while, close your eyes, and think of something that makes you grateful for. Yeah, and then picture that being taken away from you. How will you feel?
Mm.
Then after, if you keep continuing this, you're cutting this fellow or this thing away from your life. So why not you work on it, and you know, make it and work towards it. To keep that person or someone. So when they think about it, like, yeah, life is worth living. I shouldn't take this small thing and think about it too much. I should think about, in a broader perspective. Like, fine, if you were to, commit suicide or anything, right? Think of the effects of what happened. You're not just like affecting. You think like if you take yourself out from the equation, everyone will feel better. No, actually, you will affect everyone. So why not you live your life, be a better person, and make everyone feel better as well? Something like that. And
Mm-mm.
they think about it. They take a step back and think, yeah, life is worth living. So feel happy. So I also feel happy when I say that.
Mm-mm. That's nice. So, seeing all that, what is the first thing you would tell someone, whether they have depression or not, to find that meaning in life that you have found for yourself?
Normally, what I do is that I will ask them, what makes you feel happy?
Mm.
Just like for me, okay, if I ask Aziz, what makes you feel happy? Eating out with friends. Just an example. Then for me, what makes you feel happy? Go shopping. Then I say, they tell me what they're happy for, what they're grateful for, do it.
Mm.
Do it. You like shopping? Let's go shopping. You
Oh my
have money.
god.
Let's go window shopping or thrift store.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what brings me happiness?
Yeah.
Having money. So anyone who wants to like drop out free money, bank account in the sorry,
DM
there won't
her
be, but
Instagram
yeah, yeah.
link in description.
Yeah.
Send your money in.
Lol. But
Oh sorry, yeah.
yeah. Oh no, no, it's fine. Yeah, so first it seems we have to define what happiness is, and since that's so subjective,
Mm.
um
Yeah.
how would you guys define happiness?
Hmm.
Okay. Happiness for me is something that bring you joy. I mean, okay, hear me out. Something that brings you joy and takes away all the bad things in life, where you forget about
Mm.
all the bad things happening in life right now. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's happiness.
That's yours.
Oh.
Mine is a little bit different, but also similar. So it's similar, of course, brings me joy. But even when I'm going through something bad, um, so when I think of what brings me happiness, it's like, spending time with friends who really care or family who really cares. And so even if I'm having a bad day, if I just sit with them, like just sit with them and just listen to them talk, that brings me joy already. So I'll be having like, oh, this is such a bad moment I'm having, a bad day, but I'm sitting with them and that brings me happiness. So, it's just like existing in their
Yeah.
presence.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay.
What about you,
So
Ida?
But you, Aida, yeah, you've been asking us.
Mm-hmm.
So, about happiness, in the next podcast, we find out what happiness means to Ida. No, I don't
What a
know.
clickbait.
Lol. Well, in my current definition, I feel like it's something that brings me liberation, and in turn, we call that joy. I haven't experienced it too much for myself to know exactly, uh, to pinpoint and say, oh yeah, this is what happy is. Oh shit, I just like went downer. But I think in my happy moments I realize it's that feeling of meaning, that purpose. Like when you reach a certain experience, it makes you feel that joy, but you're like, okay, this is what I'm here for. This is why I'm doing this. That makes me happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks
That
for
word,
asking. Sorry.
liberation. I think I heard Ida
Liberation.
use that word once before. I mean, definitely many times, but the one that like I remember most is when we went to charity for a friend's session. I think what was it? Like a 3-day weekend retreat.
Muza
And
Tarihati, thank
Musa
you.
Tarihati Tarihati by Musa on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were doing yoga and like having so much fun. And then they usually ask after each session, like, how do you feel? And Ida was just like, I feel liberated. I was like, wow, new word. Google that. Like, sorry, Google that. And like, what does liberated mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a
Y-
side note. So,
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah,
yeah.
it's for me personally, it's very hard to find a very liberating moment, even in
Mm.
the small things. And small liberations seem to be tiny happy moments. And
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, so that's why I asked. I gotta redefine what happiness is, or at least find new ways to
Mhm.
get there. Yeah,
I
yeah,
also noticed that Akil, your approach to like maybe helping to cope with depression is very logical. It's a
Yeah,
very, yeah,
yeah.
very, I wouldn't say straightforward, but very logical approach. It's different from how I think I've seen other people cope with it. The thing is with depression is that there's so many different ways to cope with it, and you just gotta find your match.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like everyone have different style.
yeah,
So we just have, but it's similar in a way.
similar. Yeah, it
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
brings you.
joy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And hearing what you said, it's really evident that yeah, mental health is a thing, guys. It's always been a thing. It's always been
This
there.
it is.
It is. And even though we may deal with it differently, I guess to some degree we experience a certain level of I don't want to say pain, but I guess that's a certain level of intensity in emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well, oh my
gonna
gosh.
simmer in this for a while.
Sorry?
I'm gonna simmer in this for a while. So like Ozzy,
You
if you have
should.
more questions.
No, I just wanted to say when Akio mentioned the massage part, I was just like, haha, giggle, because it reminds me, he told us this story before,
Yeah,
um, when we were talking, and I was just like, oh my God, my parents did that to me too. And we related in that, like it was such a funny experience how, with very, I would, I'm gonna say it like, I don't know if it's the right way to say it, but it's very religious,
yeah,
um, ways. They bring you to like these doctors that aren't necessarily professionals, but they
Mm,
say that they're gonna help you.
yep.
And yeah, that
But
happens.
they
They
don't.
do.
No, I think it applies to all races in Malaysia lah. I mean, let's talk about Malaysia context. Because like
mm,
my family, we are mixed, all right,
Mhm.
Malay. So trust me, I've been to the Malay, therapy, all this Islamic way. It doesn't work. Then my mom's like, you know what? Let's try Chinese style. Went to all this Sifu master, and I'm like, why? Why?
lol.
Pseudoscience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pseudoscience.
Like, okay, I can say that, maybe it's helped some people, but I don't know if it's a foolproof way to help people,
no.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think one reason why it maybe wasn't for some other people that we are educated. Like for us, right, we know what depression is. It exists, right? Because for me, I'm thankful enough that I've been studying in Subang, so that's why kids knows what's going on these days. So we know okay, depression
Mm.
is back home, back my hometown. They don't know what depression is. They were like, oh, is that food? I don't know.
Is that a food?
Give me some of that.
I
Give me some.
I've heard that one before, honestly.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Oh
there's a
my
new.
God.
So they don't know all these things. They don't know what it is. So
Mhm.
once at least, if let's say, because I see my friends, I've a good, I have a good group collection of friends. No, set of
Collection.
friends whereby their family are very open-minded. I mean, they studied abroad, so they know
Mm.
what it is. So when let's say my friend, when he or she has depression, when go home, their parents are open to it. They're like, "Oh, what happened with child? You gonna be okay. You know what? If things gets worse, let's get help." And I
Yeah.
think that every family or every parents they need to know about mental illness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. True. Legit.
Agreed. Honestly.
Every family should, just like how you would know of, like, chicken pox. Like every parent knows, like, oh, my child might get chicken pox. It's like everyone has a chance of getting a mental illness. It's an illness anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just never know.
Hmm. And like I resonate with the religious aspect because I grew up the same where we were taught to believe that anything that hurts us, anything that hurts our hearts, or is in our mind kononnya lah, is
Uh,
all iblis and shaitan. So I
yeah.
think we all have the same religion that we were born into, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and disclaimer, it's not about the religion. We're talking about the what we were
Society, the
societal upbringing,
culture.
culture upbringing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's that made me dismiss it very easily, and until now sometimes I wake up and think, oh, what if I actually am possessed? And I'm like, wait, no, you're not a 15-year-old Ida to believe that anymore. So I feel like it may have indoctrinated me to believe that method, and I don't know if that's a trauma, I'm not sure. But
hmm,
I do want to ask, like, how did you secure your belief that mental health is in fact real? Like, yeah, because from that we could convince other people that, hey, even if you don't believe it, um, we think it's real and this at least exists. Yeah.
that's such a good question.
I mean, all right. If you want to explain this to someone who hasn't go through depression, it's kind of hard,
Mm.
because they wouldn't know what it is until you go through it.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
for me, if okay, what makes depression is like how do you want to know whether depression is real or not? Is that you would change who you are. You can be the nicest person on earth, but when you get depressed, you'll be a different version of yourself. You wouldn't be,
Yeah.
oh, you wouldn't open doors for people anymore. Just like, you know what, screw it. I don't care about you. I want to deal with me. Like,
Mm-mm,
you know,
mm-mm.
yeah. I don't know. It's
It's
Oh
very
hard
hard.
to
yeah, paham,
explain,
paham,
right?
paham. Yeah, I guess then it's safe to say that we never realize that more people than we think are battling their own internal mental turmoil, I guess,
Yeah,
because we've seen it in our friends. Oh, they're not the same every day, but we never really know what they're going through as well. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Until you
dang,
ask, sometimes.
until you
Sometimes even
ask.
if you ask, they won't share right away.
yeah,
It's always giving that reassurance that,
Mm,
like, I'm here.
and maybe they're not sure as well. But there's
Yeah.
also this dangerous line between um asking and also probing for something that may or may not be there. So
Hmm.
there's this placebo effect. There's a factitious disorder where when people get anxious about whether they have a certain mental health disorder or mental health situation, that they self-diagnose and they emit similar traits to that disorder and put it on themselves. So they don't actually have, let's say,
mm,
major depression. Like they don't have social anxiety, but because they think they do, they mimic that. They
yeah,
teach their brain how to. So there's also that fine thread of making sure that they don't think that there is something wrong with them. How do we make it a safer place to check in on someone without them thinking there's something actually wrong with themselves. Like wrong here meaning something out of place. Right and wrong subjective, so yeah.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean?
I
Yeah.
sort of. Is it kind of like, for example, me looking at Akil right now, I'm like, Akil, are you okay? And
Mm.
Akil's just like, I
Yeah.
am. Like, what's wrong? I'm like, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Macam tu.
am
Yeah.
I? Like,
Yeah, yeah. You
like,
start to question like, actually I'm
yeah.
fine, but why is she asking me this so many
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
times?
am I
No,
not
I'm not
okay?
fine.
Yeah.
What is she seeing me? Like,
So yeah, things like that. I guess that seems to be a projection of how we feel putting that onto someone else, I guess. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
Personally, I don't know about everyone here, but like, I don't enjoy assuming things at all because you
Mm.
never know until that person tells you. I just trust the person enough to tell
Okay.
me if something's wrong, you know? Like, of
Yeah.
course I would ask, maybe just ask once, but not in a way that there's something wrong. I'm just like, hey, so how's things? No, 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 no. And
Mm.
then sometimes if I'm feeling lonely or something, I'll be like, you know what? I'm feeling lonely. Let me talk to you if you're open. And then after that, I'll be like, you're free to talk to me as well. My door's always open. My phone's
Mm.
on. Da da da. Call me anytime.
For me, it's that it's like it's hard for you to know whether you have you have a problem or not.
Mm.
So
Mm.
whenever I meet someone new, a friend, right, I would just say like, "Hey, okay, name's Aqil, yada yada yada." Then I was like, "Hey, if you need to talk to someone, you can talk to me." I just put it out there. They were like, "Okay, let's have
Yeah.
dinner or something." Yeah, we just change topic.
Yeah.
Because like when you ask them, they'll be like, "I'm okay. I don't know." But the thing is that
Yeah.
you only know you're not okay when you're truly alone.
Yeah.
Reflection.
Yeah, but when you're
Yeah.
alone, then you need to talk to someone you know who to talk to.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
then they were thinking, oh my god, Akil said if I need to talk to someone, I can talk to him. Then
Yeah.
hello.
Hey, I'm Akil, yada, 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 and you can talk to me anytime. That should be on your business card.
Or your voicemail.
Oh, yeah, your voice. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Understand?
Oh
That's
my gosh.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, like leaving that door open, like what you said, Azzy. Yeah, you both seem to be doing that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's very important for us to be honest as well. So,
Mhm.
you know how we expect honesty from people?
Yeah.
If they're feeling bad, then they'll tell us. I know that people expect the same thing from us. So if we're not ready to be there to listen, then we have to deliver as well. Be like, okay, so I'm not ready today, but can I ask you again tomorrow? Reschedule a time to call. Yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of communication.
Yeah. I guess coming from the spectrum of someone who is in constant need of mental health attention, I guess that's where we can clearly cut and define where we might need professional help. When
Yeah.
it comes to a point where you cannot wait for a friend to uh, listen to you, where they say, "Oh, actually, I want to sleep," and then you're like, "No, this cannot wait," and it's something that a problem cannot be solved there and then.
Mm.
I mean, would you guys say that's the line where, okay, maybe this needs maybe a counselor or a deeper thing, a therapist?
All right, for me it's like okay, a friend plays an important role. You know,
Mm.
but then the things that you can't always depends on that friend to talk about your problems because like for me, all right, I love listening to everyone when they open up. But
Mm.
until a certain point in time, I will get to immerse in their situation where
Mm.
their pain will be my pain as well.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Mm.
So sometimes it happens a lot of times. So I will tell them like, hey, you know what? I think you need to seek for help lah. If let's say it prolongs,
Mm.
because for
Mm.
me, okay, like example when I talk to you, okay, I have an issue. This is issue. So
Mm.
issue A. So next month, if we would talk again, it's the same issue. It's the same
Uh.
issue, same issue. So I think to that point, I think you need to realize, you need to do something about it. If it's a whole different issue every time, then that's fine because life
Mm.
is easy, So
Yeah.
I'm happy to listen to you. But if you like come to me again, I'll be like, example, you call me like, hi, or is that problem again? I'm like, I will get annoyed.
Mm.
You're like, come on, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you yourself have to know lah. Like, if let's say things keep persisting, the same issue, you need to need talk to someone professional. Like
Mm.
a friend can only comfort you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for a long term thing, you do need to find for help.
Yeah.
And really, anyone can go for counseling. It really, like, just to have someone, a professional there to talk to and to have someone listen to you, that's just, wow, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of platforms. There's online. It's free, and even if let's say you're university students, you have counselors at school. For me, I went to Taylor's counselors. Right, I talked to them. They are really friendly bunch. They're really fun. If let's say you think the counselor's not enough, you can try to go to a more professionals like to a psychiatrist, external counselor. Go for it. Because
Mm.
like if you're thinking of the cost, yes, it's gonna be high for if you go for professional one, right? The one I go
Yeah.
to, it's gonna be high for just that one session. But for that little investment, it will make you feel better. Yeah.
Mm.
Also, I just want to add to to everyone who is listening, um, counseling, especially like with free counseling or university counselors, I've experienced this where I met one counselor who wasn't good, and I decided to take a break. I was just like, you know what, maybe counseling isn't for me. And then I met a professional therapist. She was a lecturer in my university, and she told me that counseling is like shopping. So you just have to try with different counselors until you realize, okay, this one is the right fit, because you can get along with different counselors differently. Does that make sense? It has to be like a
Yeah.
puzzle piece
Yeah.
where you fit together. So like, if try not to give up if you can. If you meet a counselor that you don't like,
It's
just
like making friends,
yeah,
Mm.
certain people just don't click. Certain people you'll be like, oh my god, he or she's my homie, let's go
No.
out, go out with them together every single day of my life.
yeah,
Yeah.
professional friend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like for me, coming from the spectrum of um finding it hard to trust a stranger, so therefore finding it hard to trust someone who could professionally help me. That was how difficult it was for me to reach out to my first therapist actually. um Even coming to the first session, I was like, okay, maybe I'll call in and say, yeah, this is not gonna happen. But if it wasn't for the person that was there for me at the time to push me to go, I really wouldn't have, because I I think personally for me it was because I have this fear of trusting people close to me. Therefore, how could I trust someone who is a stranger? So in time, like for me, my thought process changed lah. That's what they're there for. That's what they studied the human cognition for, and all these things. But I think this was really helpful for people on this spectrum to realize, yeah, okay, finding a counselor is like shopping, because you're not gonna like every damn shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how what would you guys tell a person who needs to find that patience to seek the right counselor for them, or the therapist? Yeah.
For me, just try everything.
Try
I mean,
everything.
like okay, like what Aji said earlier, I agree with her because last time at our university, yeah, at university we have when we come in.
Mm.
Normally, you have to book an appointment or like you come in. You can only talk to counselors who are available,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? Sometimes you can't choose, but then you just go there. If let's say this person is not working out, then you can always request to them like, can we try a different counselor this time? Maybe it can fit me more. Then who knows? The next person will be the best fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
me in in my uni life, I had 3 different counselors, and the third one was the best. She helped.
Oh,
Yeah, she even referred me to the psychiatrist who I went through last time.
I
Wow.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like the proof over here, like with your experience, is like, um, I hope for me personally, if I heard this, I would be motivated enough to like, okay, if this one fails, maybe I should try another one and see how that goes. Because 3 times, 3 times the charm. But
Yeah.
also maybe more than that. Depends on who you're seeing.
right. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's especially when you're there still. When you're out, you just like, huh, I actually did that, you know? Like, hey, I actually took that step. I went with it. I feel better. I got better. I want to
yeah.
help someone. But when you're in that state, it's very blurry. So,
It is. You
yeah.
wouldn't be able to think. You wouldn't be
Mm.
able to think.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
just want things to end when you're in that state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I would advise is seek for help. You will not regret it. Cause like for me,
Mm.
yes, when I seek for help, at first I was like, is it just medication? Are they going to prescribe me to medicines? That was my initial thoughts. But when you
Mm.
go there, yeah, they will start to talk it out. Because my psychiatrist, right, Dr. Chong, he keep telling me to think outside the box. Don't just think as think about a small thing. Like think beyond.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, it helps. Because when I talk about my problems, and the next week I come again, doctor, I feel better. I do get irritated by this, but no longer this. I say, you know what? Even those small things is an accomplishment. Yada, yada, yada. So,
Mm.
so I feel more happy that even my doctor is saying this to me. So
Mm.
sooner or later, then my medication dosage starts to go down, and yeah, today I've been free for 1.5 years, no medication,
Wow.
I'm
and
so proud of you.
How's it going?
Yeah.
fun. It's fine, but I'm worried about myself.
Why
It's too
not?
fine. It's too fine.
Too fine. Is
Yeah.
this too
Yeah,
good
when
to be
things are
true?
going so good, you're like, what is life going to
What's
throw
going
at me
on?
now?
What's
Yeah.
going on?
Are they preparing me for something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's nice.
If I would give any advice, one advice to everyone is like, find joy. You celebrate all the little victories in life. If let's say, okay, okay. You know what? Let's say you open a door for someone. He
Mm.
feel happy. Then you should think to yourself that I make this person happy. You
Yeah.
change his or her life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to
Not that much.
that lah, but you made a person smile. It's a little
Mm.
accomplishment. Or like example, you did something you never do before. I finished a book. You should have. Okay,
Yeah.
I finished a book. You know what? Let's go out. Let's go shopping. Just because I finished a book. I don't know, but
Mm.
whatever makes you feel happy, celebrate.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
Mm.
real. Oh my gosh. It reminds
Yeah.
me of how when I moved to Malaysia, I wanted to be more confident. So I decided to challenge myself. I think the internet really helped. Honestly, the internet and connecting with people all over the world helps because a lot of information's there. That's how I learned about mental health. It was through the internet, really. If I think if the internet didn't exist, I wouldn't understand a thing. But yeah. So with the confidence, uh, just like you said, celebrating the little things or doing little things that will bring you like little joy. For me, it was doing little things that would make me more confident. So before, I couldn't look people in the eye. If you know, like the stories where if you go to McDonald's, you can't even ask for like ketchup because you get nervous. Like some people do
Mm.
that. That
Yeah.
was me. I'm that person. So what I did in uni when I was walking around, I would just like smile at strangers. I'd be like, and I look back down. And eventually they smile back, and I'm just like, wow. And then sometimes you fail, you smile at them, and then they just look away because they're nervous as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's the little, like the few people that smile at you back, and then sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, I love your top," or "Hey, I love your shirt." I'm just like, oh, "Thank you." So then I started doing that as well. That was my next step, and then
Mm.
little by little, it became like I became more confident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's nice. It could happen for you too.
Yeah, it can.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different
Honestly.
example,
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
not related,
Same
but it's,
concept,
yeah,
same
with
concept.
confidence.
Baby
Yeah.
steps on
Yeah.
something. Yeah, so I guess in terms of mental health, hmm, what's the first baby step someone should take? Seeking help, I would say.
Seeking
Or is there something that we're missing out beforehand? Awareness.
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 That's,
Reaching
Uh,
out really helps, really.
hmm,
it does. It
seeking help,
does.
reaching out. Actually, we
'Cause-
talked about this in volume 1, so go check out that episode where I talk about this. Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't remember which episode, but go check them all out because I don't
Yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah.
But yeah, but this is really insightful to help people see that no matter how much of a pit you feel you're in, the depth, neck deep probably, like Akil, you got out, honestly. And
Yeah.
like in Ozzy's situation, Ozzy, you got confident, you know? And okay, I'm not about to cry on camera, but I'm just so proud of y'all. It really inspires
Oh,
me to do
thanks.
something about my life as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And I feel that, like, even with these things, like, it sounds easy. Oh, this person achieved confidence. This person achieved getting out of depression.
Mm,
But it doesn't mean that the journey is going to continue being
No.
easy.
yeah,
It's
no.
just that reminding yourself, oh, I did this before, I can do it again.
Yeah.
That's on my case. And
Yeah.
maybe it's your case too, Akil.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because like for me, when I went, when I was in my depression relapse, I mean, sorry, when I got out of it, I always like, I keep it in my heart, it's like, you don't forget about the pain, like, sometimes it's good for you to remember the pain so that you wouldn't want to be in that scenario again. As a
Mm,
reminder, you know what? Okay, I've went out of depression. I should be happy. And you know what? I will do everything in my effort to not fall back there. Yeah.
yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, like, one of the biggest factors was learning to love yourself, right?
Yeah.
So how is loving yourself, how does loving yourself look like right now in the current
All right.
stage of Akil's life?
In the current stage, all right, I have a routine, right? So normally, like for me, okay, I think it's not normal for men to, how to say, to do these things, lah, So like for me,
According to society.
according to
Yeah, I was gonna say
society,
as well.
but I think men should do it more often. Yeah. So like for me, I have a facial routine. So I literally buy, from step A to step Z. I try because like for me, when I do it to myself, I feel happy. It's like a therapeutical moment.
Mm,
So in the morning I will do that, and night also. But then sometimes for me, when I feel that I'm too stressed out, what I will do is that I will stop whatever I'm doing. Then I will get, a cup of hot chocolate. Yeah, like it's like something that brings me comfort. Hot chocolate, it can be Starbucks or anything lah. Then
yeah.
have a good book to read. That's how I do. Then every weekend, because weekdays like you're very busy with your work, your studies, whatsoever, right? So normally my Saturday is for myself. I don't want people to disturb me. Not even sometimes my partner wants to come. I just like, no, I'm being honest. It's like
Okay.
No, no,
sometimes like
it's good, it's good.
sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
like my girlfriend texted me like she wants the attention because the weekday is only about work, right? So sometimes that Saturday I just want a day off for myself.
Mm.
So I will start cleaning up my room, organizing. It brings me happiness. Then after everything done, I will make a cup of hot chocolate or hot tea, a good book, some pop music going on at the background. Then I will light up an incense or a candle.
Nice.
Yeah, and then just enjoy myself. Yeah. You
Do
should
you?
try. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to try that. I need to clean my room for sure. Like
Me
I'm
too.
such a messy person, but I like things clean, so
Mm.
spoiled brat. But anyway, wait, you mentioned that you journaled before, right? Do you still journal now?
Uh, Before this, no, I don't. I stopped journaling because at one point it became toxic to me.
I
Oh, how
Yeah,
so?
see.
because like okay, like before this, I did poetry a little bit.
Hmm.
At first, poetry, I think everyone can resonate with me. You know, when you
Mm-hmm.
read poetry book, you'll be like, oh my god, that's me. That's so me, right? Then
Yeah.
at one point of time, you know that poetry, like the type of poetry I read is about relationship,
I
about
see.
life, RH scene, you know, all these authors. So it's
Mm.
actually very bad. I was like, you know what, I can resonate. Oh my god, this girl did this guy did this to the girl. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm one with him or her. To the point
Mm-mm.
where I start doubting myself, you know. So when I realized that, you know what, this is bad for me, I should just move on to a
Mm.
different
Wow.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how you can identify that, like you realized,
Mm.
okay, this wasn't right for me. It's hard to like pinpoint which one of the things that you're doing, and you were
Yeah,
just like,
I
yeah,
mean, it takes time for me to realize until I was reading it, and I start crying for no reason. Oh my god, I'm
Oh,
crying.
emotions.
Emotion, it hits
emotion.
me. I'm in pain.
Lol.
Yeah.
Lol.
Oh my gosh.
So
Um.
yeah, it's like you have to choose wisely on the things that you do. But don't get me wrong, I still read poetry, all those poetry now and then, to
Mm.
remind me that I went through all of that. You know, sometimes you need a
Yeah.
friendly reminder.
Hmm.
Sometimes when
Yeah.
things are going too well, you forget about the past. You know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, people say, you know what, do not bring up the past. That's true, but do not forget them either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you know, the pain that or the sufferings that you went through shapes the person who you are today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Really,
Yeah. It's
it's true.
nice. And I see a lot of your routine. I wanted to point out this is really nice, and I feel it's so important that your routine really involves all the five senses. Like to gain awareness as the first step, you need to get in touch with yourself, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like
Hmm.
Akil, yours like hot chocolate as taste and
Yeah,
touch with
it
the
has to
heat,
be. Yeah,
the lighting the candle or incense as smell,
yeah,
facial as touch, and like reading a book that's like sight, like oh, that's
Oh
like
my
the perfect
gosh, cleaning
routine.
his room, sight,
yeah,
Sight,
like,
touch, maybe
oh
smell,
my
but like
gosh.
that's just the incense.
yeah. It has to
Yeah,
be. You know, it has to, and
yeah.
yeah, because you have to make sure. You know, when you do all these things, you have to do it when you're like you want to be happy or like because
Mm.
like you don't do it when you're mad. You know, because
Yeah.
later, example, I drink hot chocolate because I'm mad. So when you're happy when you drink hot chocolate, you know, it just triggered like, oh shit, now I'm mad.
Ah, association.
But
Association.
it does. You know, when we
Mm.
have
Yeah.
this thing in life where we do something when we are feeling that what we're feeling at a particular moment, you know, like
Hmm.
Mm.
you don't eat ice cream, you're mad, do you?
When you want to
Do
calm down from being mad, I
Maybe,
guess.
probably,
Yeah.
but you're mad. You know what? I'm so mad with my work and everything. This ice cream is good, by the way, but I'm still so mad.
Yeah.
That Magnum though.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
I guess.
reminds me, I haven't eaten ice cream in so long, guys.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
want
sad.
Family Mart. Family Mart, hit us up.
Hit
Downtime
us up,
Podcast
please
loves your
sponsor
ice
us.
cream.
Also, KGB, please.
KGB actually, yeah.
Burgers. I'm addicted.
I mean,
KGB.
if Godiva wants to sponsor you, I'll be there. So,
Oh, oh.
Actually, thank you. Our email is down
Yeah,
below.
please.
But yeah. I
Oh my
guess
gosh.
we can wrap it up slowly lah.
mm,
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's very important to have routines that involve all of these senses in a day, I suppose. It really ties you back to your reality and keeps you present. Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
seeing that Akil's routine is so wholesome. I mean, Ozzy, do you have anything like that as well? Is yours similar?
My routine,
Yeah.
if I get mad
Same.
or sad, my usual approach is quickly confront it so I don't prolong it.
That's good.
That's
Yeah,
really
so
good.
that's my coping mechanism. Or making me happy, then I don't know what makes me happy. Going seeing friends, I don't know. Like watching Netflix, doing something new, learning a new skill.
Hmm.
But it's not like a routine, you know?
Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think a lot of things bring me joy. Like,
Mm.
it's kind of weird to say, honestly, because that just means that because some people define happiness and joy like as they put it in a pedestal, I guess, or I think it's a thing. Like, you know, there's content and happiness.
Mm.
For me, feeling content equals feeling happiness a bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's just
Yeah.
different levels. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's very
Satisfying.
subjective. It's like happiness to each of us are different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
whatever feel. Let's say like for me, it's important for you to find yourself what brings you bliss, what brings you happiness, and do it from time to time. And
Mm.
like have a day just for yourself. Reward yourself. Like for me, I have this one more routine lah. Okay, just one more lah.
Nice, nice, nice. Let's
Tell us,
hear
tell
it.
us.
Just one more lah. Like for me, like sometimes I like to eat. I'm a foodie. So
Nice.
for once a month, I will buy myself a good dinner, a good food. Like I will go. I mean, it's different for everyone. Like for me, I will go to like fine dining or anything alone and
Wow.
just go. I just enjoy myself. Like I would dress up to wearing a suit or like look good with my cologne on. Then I went there. They were like table for two, no table for one. They look at me like, why alone dinner? I'm like that's so sad. I'm like no, I'm happy.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh. You are your own date.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
my own day.
You
Yeah,
are your
Yeah.
own date. That's
That is
nice.
so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
yeah. Remember to reward yourself every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
For reals though. So like Akil, you mentioned eating out alone, right? Like
yeah.
I know that when people go out to eat alone, it can be very nerve-wracking and scary because, you know, people feel ashamed of being seen alone. Have you ever felt that way before? Like, and
Mm,
how did you come out of it if you have?
I never experienced that before because I generally don't care what people think of me. but
Wow.
there was to a point where where example when you go out eat alone, when you are eating out alone, people will stare at you. I feel
Mm.
Oh.
pressure, but to me it's like if let's say you shouldn't be worried about that. It's like live your life. They can
Yeah.
For real.
they can judge you, like they judge you, so who cares? You are living your life. You don't live your life for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh my
you,
gosh.
if let's say you want to eat out alone at that restaurant, do it. Like don't care. It's my money. I gonna feel happy. I'm gonna be full. You're gonna starve. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Lol.
I'm sorry.
Watching me and like not touching your food,
Yeah.
honey, you're starving right now. Like
Yeah.
you better watch your food, don't watch me. Or
Mm.
like, oh, you know, I'm attractive, that's why they're
Yeah.
looking at
No, it's
me.
like yeah. Watch your food. Don't watch me. I know I'm a snack, but yeah. If I'm a snack, you can come over and join me.
The seat over there, it's open.
Yeah.
Lol.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
god.
that's so funny. But yeah, I feel like I need to take that advice as a person who uh always cared what people think. Like
Mm-mm.
that's why I
Same.
had to build my confidence when I moved here because it was a new beginning, you know? So
Mm.
Mm.
yeah, sitting out alone was one of the things I did as well to practice being more confident.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
I mean, it takes time to be honest. Like
Mm-hmm.
confidence, you don't confidence is not built within a day, like a Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to. It takes time. Like like example, you're not comfortable with eating out alone, but you try to do things gradually. Like maybe
Mm.
eat at like you start lah from smaller place. It's like try to go mama alone first, then
Oh
you work your
Mm-mm.
way
yeah.
through, then go to
Yeah.
movies alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do it every time, you get the hang of it, and you just like don't care. I can do
For
what I want.
real.
Yeah.
Bring your phone, watch Netflix outdoors. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm just like laughing in the cafe, like, oh,
I,
while I drink my coffee.
I'm not to that level yet.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
Because I'm so bored drinking alone, so I'll just watch Netflix.
so I would assume, am I wrong to assume that you both are extroverted?
Uh,
You're not wrong. For
what
me, at
do you
least.
mean?
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
what do you mean? How did you conclude that?
What do you
Because
mean?
for me, like the things that you guys are trying to do, like being alone, go to movies alone, eat somewhere alone, I've always done that most of my life. It was always harder for me to do the opposite, to do things with people.
Ooh, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right then,
but
for
the
me.
part that's similar is where I always care about what people think of me, so that's my anxiety
Mm-mm-mm.
on like oh, this person could be looking at me while I do what I want to do alone. But sidetrack, people usually don't care. They're usually thinking about how puffy the clouds actually are or when their food's arriving, and
Yeah.
unless they
Agreed.
tell you,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
probably something that happened to you that you're thinking that could be in that situation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're
I mean,
looking at you, oh, sorry,
just,
Tommy.
just, just stare back. No, you
Just
stare
stare
back
back.
at them. You stare at you. Like
I do that.
you
I do
just
that.
stare and you just smile, and they will look away. Or if
I
they
do
smile,
I'm just like, what? Staring
yeah,
contest? Let's do this right now. I'm ready.
yeah. I mean, literally a lot of times, no, when I go out, someone stare at me, I just like look and stare at them back, and then I'll have a small smile, and they just like, oh shit, and they just smile back.
Lol. You know,
It's like I'm
yeah.
trying to judge you, but now you're judging me. Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also most of the time maybe they're staring blankly. They just see
Yeah,
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 what's
yeah.
there,
Oof.
what could be
Yeah.
attractive to them at that moment, and then they're
yeah,
just like, "Oh shit, I'm staring."
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but there are
Yeah.
very like one of the experiences I had recently when I was going out with my sister. Uh, I thought that this was in my head, but there was a mother and her daughter. I would assume they seemed close. The older person, the older woman, was looking at me up and down like that with a very poker face expression. Talked to her daughter in a different language, and the daughter turned around and looked at me up and down. So this is something that I couldn't dismiss as, oh yeah, they're just staring at you. No, this seemed to me that it was more than that. So experiences like this would feed into future experiences when someone randomly at KFC is just randomly glancing at me eating my chicken with bare hands. So those experiences feed onto that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's where my concern comes from when I do things alone. But other than that, back to the main that one that you guys mentioned. I always enjoy doing things alone, but yeah, how did you guys get over the that thought process? Like if you ever had it on people or probably thinking about me, like judging me. Yeah.
What I did was, I mean, it happens to me sometimes. They look at me up and down. They'll be like, "Okay, is my zipper down?" Or I don't know. Yeah, it's the
Consciously,
it
yeah.
happens every single day.
Lol.
You're just
But okay, like I've been through what you said earlier. It's like when someone says that example, someone will say to their friend, then they start looking at me up and down. For me, yes, in your mind, it's like, what is he talking about? Why is he looking at me like that? But to me, I just look at them back and I just smile. Just like smile.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
so nice. I just
Yeah.
look back. No smile, just look
right.
back.
No smile.
But before,
Okay.
oh, sorry, Ida.
Oh no no no! I just wanted to say, I guess what people think of us really isn't our business. I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes you're saying you're attractive. One of my, oh my God, when the journey to confidence was also being more confident in how I saw myself.
Mhm.
So it was loving myself. It was a loving myself journey as well. So it's very cringy, but I read it online earlier on when I was trying to learn. They're like, oh, look in the mirror and say one compliment a day. So I'd look in the mirror, I'd be like, you are beautiful. And I'm just like, oh, it's so weird. So I did it every day until I believed it. It's so cringy, honestly. It's cringy in the beginning, but it really did
Mm,
work for me. So when I went out, like even when I go out now, even if I'm wearing like things that are not as pretty, I'm very into fashion, so that's why yeah, so if someone looks at me, I'm just like, oh my god, it's probably because I'm pretty. So if they're talking
Damn.
about me, I'm just like, oh, it's probably because I'm pretty.
I need that level of confidence.
Yeah, like I'm the main character here. Like that's
yeah,
why they're looking at me. If they're talking shit about me, it's because again, I'm the main character.
yeah.
So
Because they can't get what you have, you know.
they can't get this. They
Yeah,
can't walk like this. They
yeah.
can't.
But no, but it's true, you know. Sometimes, like for me, I dislike going back to my hometown sometimes. Because like for me, okay, here I am, you know. I like to enjoy the little things in life. I go out to eat good places or like, you know, fashion in a way, right? But when I go back to my hometown, you know, sometimes the good things, people will judge it wrongly, you know. Like my neighbors, they'll be like, why is he doing this? You know, it's not a norm for you know a Muslim child to do this. But why? You know, but the thing is that it's a good thing to you, but to them, they just like
Mm,
it's a bad thing, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
as I say, just don't care about what people gonna say, what people gonna think. Let it be. All right. If the things that you do give you joy, keep doing it.
Mm,
As long as you're not harming anyone. You're not harming anyone by wearing nice clothes in your city.
mm,
Like, for
Yeah.
yeah.
real.
Well, they just feel threatened, I'd say.
Yeah.
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 When that happens, I really try to see it from their point of view. Like sometimes when you have nothing to do in life, you just want to talk shit about people. Like, I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
know that. I've seen it firsthand. Your
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
you don't know what to talk about, or maybe you want to forget about your own life if it's not going so well. So you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
find flaws in other people so you don't have to think about your own.
Yes, oh my God, yes, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing that right now.
So I just feel more sad for them rather than
Yeah,
embarrassed for me. Like I'm just like, oh, I hope like things get better for you.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
lol.
I'm so sorry my hair is so pretty today. Like
I don't know. Like, I I cannot really resonate with that. Like, even though I don't wanna, let's say, confront my own life or things happening to me, I don't take that out on strangers and like look at them
mhm.
and think, oh ho ho, you're buying like 9 KFC chickens. Like, I don't know. Like, I just I I mean, I've had friends who
yeah,
have said these things, so I'm taking it into context. Um, long time ago, years back. So I
uh-huh.
don't understand why people make that choice to project that onto other people. I know it's not healthier for me to keep it to like to project it back onto myself, but I feel like at least that doesn't inflict harm onto other people who don't deserve your negativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
like sometimes you know, like what Aziz said just now, you know,
Mm.
that people have their issues, so
Yeah.
they don't want to confront what's going on in their life. So they want to they focus on other people's suffering, other people's pain, or like they will try to judge other people. Like, oh, you know what? Maybe my life is not as bad as her or as him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what normally what society do, you know.
Yeah.
Damn, then I'm an alien. Like, would
Yeah.
I be happier if I projected this onto other people? Like, honestly,
I
I
mean,
think
no. But like,
yeah.
I
Maybe some people haven't like, found your way of like dealing with things, I guess. So they think
yeah.
this was
mm,
the first way they tried maybe and it worked best for them. So they just
shit.
keep doing it even though it brings more harm to them.
Yeah,
Nah.
because
Like we
they don't
oh sorry.
they don't confront it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys. Have you ever been that person? Because I think I have when I was younger, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
judge people. And then I realized, wow, like it feels so tiring.
I mean, I'm not
Mm.
sure whether you can resonate with me. Like before this, yes, I did that. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
look at people suffering so that I feel happier. Like,
Mm,
yeah, I know this is bad, but yeah, I feel like you know what? Maybe my life is not as bad as them. But now I don't do it that way. It's more towards like I see people's success, and I want to be
Mm.
like them.
Mm.
Yeah, see, oh my god, like Elon Musk is so successful, or like, oh, my friend he has a business now, he's so successful. You know what? I want to be like him, so I'm gonna do what he does and everything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
healthier way lah to look at it, is it? Yeah.
Mm.
Feeling
Seems
proud
like
for
it.
those people rather than
Yeah.
jealousy as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, it takes
exactly.
practice as well.
Mm.
Yeah. If like you're anything like Mila, like where I used to be jealous if I saw someone achieving things. See, this is the thing with growth. Like nowadays, if you see someone our age acting like this, judging people or like feeling jealous, the first instinct is to be like, they're so immature. But like you have to think again, you know, like they can grow from this. There's that opportunity for them to grow.
Yeah.
They just have to work on it.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Yeah.
Mm. I don't know,
Wait, so
no. I'm just thinking about where I stand in all of this.
oh, hmm. Have you ever felt like maybe jealousy? Jealousy is quite intense, you know, like it
I'm pretty sure like for certain things, like everyone has experienced jealousy, but or envy. But
mhm.
okay, which one is the healthier one?
I don't know if there are
Envy.
any's healthy
I
I think
mean, it
envy is the
depends on
unhealthy one.
perspective how you look at it.
perspectives. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Um,
jealous that he's successful. I want to be successful as well. Yes.
I
Maybe
see.
I'm jealous that he's successful. He shouldn't be successful. You know, it's depends on
Lol.
the perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, no. I don't think I've ever gone down that path of being so jealous as to wanting someone's downfall, I guess. I do. I take the definition of envy. I probably got the definition wrong, but envy as, oh, I'm jealous that you have that. Oh, I kind of want what you want, and I hope I can get that too. But like jealous is
Mm.
just pure outright, yeah, I want what you want, and like, why do you have that? So I think I got the
Ah.
definition of envy wrong, because like envy is one of the what the seven deadly sins. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Makes
yeah,
sense.
so for me, I feel like I've always thought of the most thing that I've been envious about, that, oh hey, I want that too, is people's wealth. Because when I think of how much I could do with wealth, like, hey, this could go to all these things that, okay, I won't say here lah, but all these things, but because people have that wealth, they don't see that that's important, but why don't they do that? So that judgment I have is imposed onto them. So it's not that I don't judge at all, I do. Um, and I think that's the biggest thing I have. Such a superficial thing to be envious about, but because it comes from a place where um people could do better with what they already have. You know what I mean? And essentially we could just brush this off and say, Ida, that's their money, you know, you earn your own money.
I
Yeah,
Mm.
mean,
you know?
no, I mean, like, yes, it's a seven deadly sin, but to be honest, it's just that, okay, you're jealous, you're envious of someone. What if I have it? But I think the thing that matters is what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You want to be successful, so do everything in your efforts to be successful. Then,
Yeah.
this you say like, they should do this. Then it's them. So why don't you should do that?
Yeah.
You can do that.
The only reason why I know about the seven deadly sins was because of a theater exercise. I don't know if you were there for it, Azzy.
What is that?
The seven deadly sins, we had to pose as the one of the deadly sins. So we did
Oh.
envy, and I was like, "What is
Oh yeah, I
envy?"
did that. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
and lust. Oh my
and like, oh my
gosh.
god,
So haram.
oh, so
Right.
haram. But yeah, yeah. So the reason why I brought that up is because I don't think jealousy is quite prominent in my life. But if it were, it's for that thing and how I view wealth.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
Sounds
Other than that,
fun.
even for, let's see. Like, I don't care about cars. Like, yeah, sure, the latest Mercedes would look nice, but I don't feel like, oh, I also want that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm very different wiring. I don't know. Oh, I would get envious if someone has like a cheese wheel. Honestly, like
Oh, the
send it
huge
my
cheese wheel.
way. Like why do you have the cheese wheel? I can eat that cheese wheel better than you can. Yeah, I don't mean it,
Cheese.
but
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
it's for very menial things except that money thing lah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think generally I'm not a competitive person in life
I mean,
where like as in if I see someone has something that clearly betters their life, I wouldn't want that as well because I am like fine where I am, but I don't realize that where I am is it can be better. You know what I mean? So I don't compete for a better life for myself. Does it make sense? I don't think I
yeah.
articulated that well.
I
But
think
yeah.
for me, right, is that all these feelings of envious it exists when someone or you haven't like established what's your needs and what's your wants.
Yeah.
Right? Once you already establish, okay, I need this, I need this, and I need that, and this is what I want, but I don't need it, you know. So you
Mm.
wouldn't be in this situation. Like example, okay, fine. I need a car just to get me to work or to get me to
Mm.
here. But it would be nice to have a Mercedes, you know. But if I don't have it, I have a normal car. That's fine. I don't
Yeah.
get envious, you know. I think it's
Yeah.
important for you to establish this. Yeah.
Betul?
Oh my gosh.
True.
Speaking about cars, I'm hopefully cross fingers. I'm learning to drive now. I'm
Oh,
so excited to like drive my like a waja and then like go like pulling up in my waja. So waja guys
What's
like
up?
pull up and then
Honk
like slow drive
honk,
in the
bitches.
neighborhood.
yeah.
The waja is like an old
Yeah,
what
yeah.
beat up
One of the
car.
old protons?
Yes.
Proton.
I'm so excited. And you know
Yeah.
like how people take photos with their wheel like the steering wheel?
Uh-huh.
That's me in my waja. I'm just like guess who got their license?
Soon, soon. But yeah, so about the what were we talking about?
A lot.
Oh yeah, you were mentioning lol, yeah. You were mentioning people get envious or jealous when they don't have their needs met for something, and that's so true because
Mhm.
that's how I view my money thing and my
Yeah,
cheese wheel thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh
yeah,
my
that's so true.
gosh.
That's so important to know.
That's very
Yeah.
insightful.
Very
That's
insightful.
very insightful.
So yeah, from that I guess we could come to a close on that because that was a really nice thing to leave us with. Yeah. Get your needs met today, have more awareness, ask yourself questions. Keep going.
Love
I
yourself
mean,
more.
love yourself more. Okay,
For
what's
reals.
one thing you guys want to leave for the audience today? A sentence, a scope, anything.
Hmm.
All right. I have this a quote that I live by. You know, learn as if there's no tomorrow. Live a life that live a life as if the world is ending tomorrow, and enjoy the little things in life.
Okay, it's nice. How about you, Ozzy?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So for me, I did. Would you like to go next or
Oh, you first.
okay? Uh, I don't have a nice quote
Oh
to
no,
follow up
just
with
anything
Aqil's.
you want to say.
Mine is just love yourself and like the journey to loving yourself will be hard and cringy as hell, and confidence, but it's a possibility. So
Yes.
you got this, son, girl, daughter, gender neutral term. You
Yeah.
got this person.
You got this.
You got this.
You can.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I guess I already kind of said it. Um, just keep going, I guess. And
Yeah.
it's like we mentioned in the first episode, the word lost is such a negatively associated word, but it just really means that you're navigating life, that you're navigating what you're going through, and it's okay to be lost as long as you keep moving. Keep moving, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Thank you for joining us today at Downtime, Aqil. Thank you, Ozzy, for bringing Aqil into this whole thing. Yeah, it's been amazing. Like honestly,
Yeah, it
such
was
a really
delightful.
nice conversation. Yeah.
Thanks for joining
Um.
us.
No worries.
Yeah, and okay, so for everyone else watching, thank you for tuning in. Leave a like or a comment down below because our opinions are constantly changing. So, anything you wanna talk about, any opinions, just leave a comment. You can DM us on our Instagram as well, downtime underscore podcast. Find us there and what else?
Thank you.
Follow us on Instagram.
Mhm.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so that you don't need to insert in your Google Calendar when we go live. And also to, yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm new to the YouTube thing.
See
Oh
you
my
next time.
god. Please,
Oh my gosh.
accept my apology. Yeah, okay. And until next time, this has been Downtime. I'm Ida.
And I'm Ozzy.
And I'm Akil.
And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Bye. Eat well,
Bye.
sleep well, take
Bye.
care.